Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Pimlico, home of the Preakness. Just hard to believe we were just a little more than a week away from Black-Eyed Sue's Day 100 running, 149th running of the Preakness Stakes. Dave Rodman in for Calais Francois to take you through the opening day action. Alongside is Keith Fustel, the man who picks all the winners. Got some good ones for you hopefully today, and a couple ticket suggestions as well.
We definitely try, and it's good to be back. Good to have you on set. I know Callie's busy. She's going to have a very busy 2 weeks. Everybody kind of trying to get her and do some interviews, but no, I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, today we are off the turf. I don't have any grandiose selections. I don't think anything we're going to knock it out of the park with, but we're gonna jab a little bit and work those multi-race wagers and try to add them up, maybe let them multiply in our favor to give us a good little payday. We need some cash to carry us into next week.
Yeah, and fast and off the turf, and the reason you see fast off the turf is we've had some rain here at Pimlico and Baltimore the last few days, right, off and on. Yeah. There's a 60% chance of rain today. Light winds out of the north at about 5 miles per hour, overcast skies, and another chance again for rain tomorrow. But Logan Freeman and the crew got the turf course looking good and ready for some great turf action, stakes action next week. A reminder at 10:30 a.m. post time on Preakness Day, Black-Eyed Susan Day post time 11:30 a.m. And Keith, I know a lot of you and a lot of your friends are looking forward to that two-day wager situation we have here for Black-Eyed Susan Day, Preakness Day, with some pick fives, combining stakes races from both days with that low 12% takeout.
Take advantage of that 12% takeout. It's going to be a challenge. Bigger fields, which is going to amount to some value, I would think, for us bettors. And yeah, we've got the Black-Eyed Susan Preakness double. That's always a fan favorite, but plenty of options come next weekend.
Yeah, so Preakness.com for more information on Preakness Live with Jack Harlow playing in the infield this year, and all we need is a good weather forecast. We're on the verge of seeing that 10-day forecast for Friday and Saturday now. All right, so off the turf today, opener at 5.5 furlongs, couple of scratches, 3 coal mine, the 6 proper attire in here. We're discussing before we went on the air here for today at the races. It's a 4-horse field. Kind of a race where really anybody can win. Could be a pace makes the race situation in here, and we're a little bit in disagreement who might make the pace in this spot.
Yeah, I just kind of got to it. I said it's Pimlico. It's opening day. You've got to play 1-5-5-1 in honor of the Hammer, Jack Harmon, who's going to be with us over Preakness weekend. But no, I think it's a really tricky race. Fainer's Fillets looks like the horse. She's going to be sent from the inside for trainer Troy Singh, who's having a really good run right now. Just got started a few months out on his own. Had a winner the other day. His horses are running well. I just think Lunita, coming out of the Open Company, she's shown speed in the past. I think the key is the break for her. I think these two can kind of go out there together. Maybe Lunita can shadow Fainer's Fillets and take it from there. But not much splitting. These 4. Break is going to be huge for this group.
Yeah. I mean, to a girl named Jack, same situation, closed a little bit last time out. The comeback race is too tough for her, Matitude. Yeah. Race after that, a very sloppy track she didn't like. She's in at the right level. It's a little weight break today. I think Andres Chavez, the apprentice, is going to look at that form and say, you know what, she's got a wire-to-wire victory on her form back in January at Laurel. She's a mare or filly that used to have a little more tactical early speed and probably still does if they ask her for it. If she can get a little bit of a jump with sending from the inside there on Lunita, maybe she can take them all the way. That's the way I went, 2-1-4.
Yeah, I think I can kind of see her just tucking inside, sitting behind the speeds. I think she's a little bit quicker than Ellie Victorina, who's working through the conditions now. But anybody's ball game in here. I just think Lunita gets a little bit of a class break, and you go back on her figures. I think David Mohan, he's got a shot to win 2 today.
Yeah. Pace projection on Equibase Stats Raceline shows a 3-way duel in this race. Right. I guess on their best day, they all were kind of equal early. If that happens, here comes Ellie Victorina, really kind of the only closer in the race, who's in good form right now for Mario Saray Jr. So 2-1-4, and Keith went 5-1, 2-4. Second race off the turf, 5 furlong scratch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. And Keith, you have an early pick 4 ticket, and you're singling on my top pick. I assume your top pick too, and that is Commanding General. Jorge Ruiz, by the way, will ride. That's a jockey change on Commanding General.
Yeah, light little ticket here, $9. Started out with a single, Commanding General. It's going to be an awfully short price in race number 2. Hopefully we can get things a little bit more beefy here in races 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, and 4 in race number 3. Rad Paisley back with Kieran off some freshening. Race 4 with the 2, 4, and 6. Top boss. Get to the front and see you later, I'm hoping, in there. In race 5, we'll wrap it up. Really interesting race. Grand opening. Good effort and stakes up in New York. And then Hub, unfortunately, lost the rider to Bragg. There was a lot of chatter. The money showed for this runner for Anthony Farrer. Hopefully the second time is the charm. Everything goes well for that one today. There's your ticket, $9.
Well, wish we could get 7-2 in Commanding General. That's a turf line,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Not going to happen, I don't think, right? So projecting to be really the class of the field and the speed of the field. Very honest horse. 9 wins, 11 seconds, and really any one of his last few races, I think, would do the trick. Right?
I tell you, he ran super those 3 races prior to his most recent race on the 29th of March. Yes, he did ride the wave of that racetrack. You wanted to be 3, 4, 5 wide that day against a good group. Aristocratic, we're going to see a very fast horse, was able to prompt that one. I just, don't see it in here. Psychedelic Shack, if you're kind of like me, take the shot here. This horse never been on the main track, but certainly bred to be okay. Obviously Shackelford, we remember that one. And this one's second off of a break, and there's some family in there that has done some decent work on the main track. This horse is very quick, needed that last race.
Very quick on the synthetic, very quick on the turf.
Yeah.
But if the temptation is to beat Commanding General, pun intended, Psychedelic Shack might be where it's at here. If you believe that he's going to be just as fast or faster than Commanding General, he might try to dazzle him with some footwork out there. We both agree 8 and 5.
That's about all we can go
Of course,
right
you chase
there.
their Guapo again.
I've chased that one. I mean, he looks like the other horse, Psychedelic Shack. I think we're both taking a little chance in there because I think the price is going to be a little bit better. But Guapo again, yes, could not get close last time to Commanding General. A little bit of a hiccup in there, but certainly, underneath in these actors, but it's going to be awfully short.
Keith, the third race starts the Rainbow Pick 6, starting with a clean slate today on all of our Pick 6, Pick 5 wagers, etc., and Jackpot Super High Five this opening day here at Old Hilltop. Kelly Francois will have a Rainbow Pick 6 ticket for you a little bit later with the scratches and the shifting off the turf. I think there's some tweaking going on. So if you're looking for that Pick 5 ticket, it'll be up later today on the graphics and the show and on the website as well. So no changes in the third race. And you mentioned Rad Paisley, right? I mean, this horse has had a lot, beaten a little bit better in the past.
I'm interested. I did not think you'd go here, Dave. I'm going right along with you. I did not look at your picks earlier. Rad Paisley, 5-1. I'm hoping we can get close to that. Back with Kieran McGee. And this horse ran good at 7/8 of a mile from making a move just off an okay pace if you go on the go back for Kieran. So yes, fresh, ready to go. Whenever he kind of goes and names Rodriguez, J-Rod, they team up and they hit at a very, very high clip. Positive ROI. Aristocratic to 5, extremely fast. He's very fast. I think Rad Paisley, it'll be interesting to see from the break. He might try to go ahead and go, but I think he's versatile enough. If Aristocratic just is headstrong and wants to go, Rad Paisley can rate just off of that one. And then you're going to have those deeper closers. Smooth Rico has shown that speed. I think he'll be a little bit further back today. He's in very good form, but jumping up.
I'd agree. He's either a speed horse or a closer, but with Aristocratic in the race, the 10-year-old who's had some blasting early speed in the past, he'll sit right off of it. So the key is, claimed, freshened, protecting. Right?
And shown the ability to lay just off of quick paces and continue on, which I think he might need to do in today's third. Looking for that horse from out of the clouds. We got a little stat here for you for the one horse. Dave, pronunciation? Icor, thank you. I just froze there for a second. I forgot what you told me. Icor.
If they say it, I say it.
All right. Trainer Bruno Tessori. Over the last 3 years, it's a smaller sample size, but it's a really good percentage. He's 4 for 9, 44%, 6 for 9 in the money with these dirt sprints. third off of a 60 to 180 day layoff. Look at that ROI. It's a gaudy 624. Eichhorst looking for the duel, certainly might get it. And this is the race where he may be able to go over the top in that last 16th of a mile.
With 3 wide in the turn last time out, rallied outside in the stretch with a nice close, last jump or two. Could have gotten to Addie's Laddie's TNT. Race before that, rail was deep on March 29th is what I have. And he was along for a share while outside maybe on the best part of the track, but honest horse for sure. Fistability. I'm going to go with Captain Cardo in here.
Okay.
I mean, I know he's like a one-run sprinter going 7/8 is kind of his take, and a mile over at Laurel, but one-run sprinters like that, they got a good pace up front, and I think it'll be honest enough with Aristocratic. He could come running with some fierce power late, first off the claim for Kieran McGee, and he's run a big one here at Pimlico against a slow pace back in September of last year. The opening quarter 24-2 half 47-3, and he came rolling, was second last at the top of the stretch, or second last top of the stretch, third last top of the stretch, came rolling and just got beat and a frantic finish. It was kind of a just miss heartbreak there against Spitball. So
he's in the top form of his life right now. He comes off of a 74. That was an okay flow last time. Turning back, route the sprint off the claim. That hasn't been Kieran's best kind of whatever angles. 0 for 8, 1 for 8 in the money, but sooner or later, it's going to hit. And just the form that he's in right now, Torrealba, for our newer fans, people not maybe familiar with the Maryland racing scene, pay attention to this rider. He's riding extremely well, the 5-pound apprentice, and puts these horses in position and really rides a smart race and brings a good finish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe they're going to be able to get him any closer to the pace than he has been in the past. But Torrealba's strong finisher, and I think he'll come running late. Will it be the ground not be enough for him is a question.
Kieran's got the best of both worlds here too, Dave. He's got Rad Paisley up front. He's got a legitimate closer here with Captain Cardo. So it would not be a surprise to me.
Fourth race, 5 furlongs on the main track. Off a turf, scratch 3, powerback 5, E.P. Milton, 7, Jimmy the Kid, 12% takeout both the early and the late pick 5. The late pick 5 with carryover potential as always. The early pick 5 is always a mandatory pay. A lot of people, as long as we've done that, people keep asking me, is it a mandatory? Is there a carryover? The late pick 5 is the carryover potential pick 5, but they're both 12% takeout. Okay, so we kind of disagree. I can see your angle here, Top Boss. I mean, he's had the speed to go to the lead in the past.
He has.
I haven't liked his last couple of races, honestly.
No, and he's faced some really, really good horses, and when he's right, he can give you some trouble in that 2 other than allowance. So right now, Mohan, I liked him in the first, coming back. Maybe we can get 2 on the date. Traylon Albert, a rider I'm not familiar with. Do you have a stat for him? I don't have his updated stats. No, Dave? On your form. My form didn't have it because I've got the old. What do you have him for the year? 0 for 59. The jockey of Top Boss.
Winless this year.
0 for
54.
All right. But Bill and I were discussing upstairs. 0 for 54, but it's been a good 0 for 54. He's been barreling the ball up, just like some of these Orioles.
That's what I say. That's what I say.
Unfortunately, just right at people. And this time, just break, hang on, right to the front, and see you later, Top Boss. He should be well clear of this group into the turn. Just nurse and release from the top of the stretch.
Just remember, if I go 0 for 54, it's a good 0 for 54.
That's right.
All right. Anyway, I was kind of taking a little shot here that we may get a little bit of rain later, or maybe it would have been raining by now with on the outside. Great days ahead. Has a tendency, I think, to like a little bit of an off track or a wet track. There's still a chance of rain here later on today. Off the claim for Joe Woodett. His numbers against Boss Logic and Alpha Cairo, the way back numbers in 23 spring and towards summer would be good enough. They just have to kind of get him right here. So claimed him in March, had a little bit of work out here May 2nd, a week ago. 49-2, not bad for 12-5 claimer. A little tune-up. Might come in as the old great days ahead, and I think he'll be at least they're stalking by the time they hit that quarter pole.
This is a situation when you're just looking at the conditions of the race, and it's a starter. Now we're off. This horse has only won 2 races. He's eligible for a 3 in life, and they wanted to get on the turf here. Didn't have. They stay on the main track. Maybe they were watching the weather, but anyhow, it still works. You know, he still figures in here. This is a horse I'm usually going to kind of go against because jumping that condition. But with a couple of these horses probably just chasing the very quick top boss, definitely apt to drop in a little bit and make a run into this flow.
Look at this. I didn't realize this. February 9th, he was favored against Hemp and Heldish. That right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So off of that big 7-length win against non-winners at 2, but in a different barn there. So you got a lot of respect against what I thought was a salty field, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And one of those horses would be huge favorites.
Would be big show prices here.
What about the 4, Putin Online? What are your thoughts here? Horses only tried the dirt one time. It was 4 years ago.
Well,
figures on synthetic good, freshening up for a barn that I know it can strike and get in there at some okay value. Looked at the family. There's multiple dirt barn, winners there.
The barn, Annette Eubanks, always respected.
Yep.
And it really just kind of went, again, to a way back number. His Gulfstream Park race back on Tapeta back on December 23rd would do here 5 furlongs was the distance there. Okay. Didn't have a whole lot of early seed, probably won't, but he's had some early foot on the turf in the past. Kind of a puzzler. Indeed, but I had to throw him in off of respect for the barn, first time in the barn, and also the good number back at Gulfstream. But again, another way back number.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit of a reach. You know, obviously he was 2-1 in this line for the turf. Dirt, I think he's definitely going to be a little bit higher than that, I would think.
All right, I like this 5th race coming up here.
Maybe not.
Because the field of 7, you got so many angles in here. You mentioned earlier Hub. Got all the money, right? Like he was going to be something. Stumbled at the start, lost the rider, trotted around the track. What are we to make of him against a horse like Grand Opening and a couple of first-time starters, one by Arrogate from the Michael Matz barn, another Street Sense colt from the Sugar McGahee barn. This is no easy spot. I think a lot tougher, actually, than his debut run.
Yes. That winning buyer, Haley's First Notion, got it done with a 74. Yeah, Grand Opening. We're going to watch this rerun. This is the horse I like for Robbie Bales, returning from that race, the New York Stallion race up at Aqueduct. Bounced around out of the gate. What I like, Dave, this horse recovered very quickly, and he showed good speed. And, 22 flat, got into position under a rating hold early on. Just to be outkicked a little bit around the turn, but stayed on with effort. Those top 2 finishers, I'll let you talk about them. They had the experience, and, boy, they've come back to run well.
I didn't look at the second finisher. All I looked at was Antonio of Venice. Ran a 91 buyer. 91 buyer that day in winning the New York Stallion. Looking earlier in the card, the top flight stakes race, 92 buyer. All right. So looks like Grand Opening's the goods here. Jerome Barbosa took the trip up north to ride him. Comes back here hoping for a clean trip today, and he lives up to all of his billing. The head first certainly comes out of a ultra quick race.
Returns with first time Lasix as well. So yes, Hub has to be tied on, break cleanly. This horse visually impressive in debut Grand Opening. But Hub, $300,000 purchase. The money poured in. The unfortunate stumble. And, looking at, going back and look at the family a little bit. One winning Sib, that was for $4,000. The other one, I think, Dave, you topped at a 64. This horse must have worked absolutely lights out at that sale. Looked that good.
There's a lot of stories going around, that's for sure. That kind of money.
Absolutely. But I'll go Grand Opening. I think Blue Kingdom. I think back sprinting certainly works. Bet the line. That was the late course that came in. Wanted a little bit of an upset and going the mile. But turning back, the sprints have been good. Really has never run a bad race. I like that 10-1 morning line we're getting. I think you're going to see the speed from the outside, but Blue Kingdom to get the good trip for Alvelo from just off of it.
Yeah, excellent runs here. The second out, when he was second behind Metaguchi, he was taken back a little bit early. And about the 5/16 pole, I thought he kind of lost his train of thought, maybe kind of looking around a little bit. Just my personal observation. And came running on nicely with a mild rally there for a second. So still no blinkers, or he's run okay. I mean, why not? Against good company. So let's see what he does today this time around. Maybe he's getting a little bit more mature with his 4th race now under his belt. How about High Zoom, first-time starter in here for trainer Michael Matz. Arrowgate out of win racer by Curlin. 4 siblings, all winners.
Yes.
4 siblings, all winners. So chances are this guy's going to break his maiden. Will it be first out is the question.
This mare was fast. A 95 when winning her debut. A couple of these siblings have hit the board. Matt's a little tough beginning, no doubt. You can't deny that, of 2024. But over the last 5 years, within this spot, 7 for 38 with the first-time starters on the dirt. That speaks volumes. 273. So looking for a time to kind of jump back and get into action. This firster could be the one to get them back on track. High zone, but
another firster by Street Sense in the Shug McGahee barn. You know, you're not going to expect big blazing bullet works 5, 6 in a row from any of Shug's horses, right? So the Phipps stable runner here, Street Swagger, easy for you to say, out of Warfront mare making debut. So I think Hubbs. This is a tougher spot than debut where he lost the rider as a favorite. You got grand opening, 2 unknown firsters. Blue Kingdom chased a couple of decent, buyer numbers last time, last 2-3 times out.
Yeah, it's an interesting race.
We both agree
Street
the top
Swagger.
Pick.
Yeah, Shug, he just hasn't run in the last 5 years. Only 10 firsters on the dirt here on the Maryland circuit. Has a win. 3 of them have hit the board. It'll be interesting. This one may be going a bit longer down the road, possibly some turf for Street Swagger.
Okay, let's go to race 6 off the turf. 5 furlong, scratch 3 abstract moments. 7 Lady Ensign and the 8 Divina Dulce, and drawing in there the alternate Upswell. That's my top pick. Your top pick as well. I didn't look at your picks before. I didn't have much time to look at them, but
I'll tell you what, we're going to tease them a little bit. I'm going to come back after this commercial, and we're going to talk about the 6 race.
That's
winner.
right. My bad.
Right. We'll be right back.
Hey, grab me one too.
All righty, back on today at the races. A look at race 6, 5 ace off turf, scratch 3, 7, and 8. And before the break, we said, well, we both have the same horse here.
Wow.
That's 10, Upswell.
Okay.
First off, the claim alternate draws in here for Anthony Ferrier.
I think we're seeing the same thing. I look back, it's first time sprinting with blinkers and Lasix, that combo. I like that. But then I go to the most recent race at Keeneland. Sloppy Seal. Now we're talking 5/8 of a mile here today. But this filly showed a very good turn of foot in that most recent race. The internals, Dave, quicker than 2 other than fillies and mares. So I think the speed, the natural speed is there. The claim, we've seen Ferrier bring these horses from Kentucky to here off the claim. We've seen James Wolfe. Yes, they peg these horses. They bring them here, and they do well. Upswell, she better be tied on. I don't want to see her hung 4 and 5 wide around that turn because there's some sharp speed to her inside, and that inside speed is Blue Trillion for Damon Dilladovico, who's been very sharp lately with those blinkers on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she'll go to the front rail draw from post 9 last time out. Gets post 1 today on the race move to the main track. And her last 3 races and most of her races, last 4, she's shown good early pace attending, either pacemaking or pace attending type speed in here. The 2 Determined Blue is interesting. I thought that horse might be one to throw in the bottom there. Was a Speed Plus day last time out on April 13th, and you really have to toss that race there. Number 1, though, Blue Trillion. Hopefully the speed will stick around the 4. And here is Hateful, and there's a horse I thought. I chased her, and then all of a sudden she wins at 7-1.
Paired up, 2 good numbers here, 55, and the barn. He's had a very good run. Corrales of late, and looking at how things should set up, you've got some chasers here. Hateful inside out trip I think is going to work with Orojo.
Well, it's 5 ace today, right? The last time was at 5.5. Race before that was 5.5 at Laurel. Thought she had a good setup and a nice patient ride March 29th. Last out, she ran okay, but she was kind of hustled close to that pace that day. I thought maybe not the way that she likes to be ridden a little bit, so I don't know. I think they'll let Blue Trillion go on today, kind of let her settle. Let her settle. Then she can make a little bit of run here. I think she's a live danger at the spot if you don't see the upswell we think we're going to see off the claim.
You hit the nail on the head with that last race on the 28th with Hateful. Put into the race. It coaxed along maybe a little too soon. I can see you didn't want anybody to really get away from you. I think they're naturally just going to get away from her today. So just sit back, rate a little bit, use that longer stretch that we have here at Pimlico to your advantage, and make that run. I think she'll sustain it. Determined Blue, we both don't have it. I just want to touch on her.
Yeah, go ahead.
Underneath definitely will be used. You'll get a square price. Rarely do you see, a horse that finishes last, and I've got a comment mildly, 6 beaten 10 3/4. Go back and watch it. She had a really tough go early. Force did the right thing, a rating hold, a little protect move early, and finished up. I think she gets back to her better races. It's going to work here at a good number underneath. And Little Josie Wales, this is the one I just cannot quite figure, because I see Poji Bonsi in the page, and man, was she the key horse going back about 6-8 months ago. A good race over this racetrack, but been off time, 172 layoff.
That race would beat this field.
Yes,
and I'm
it
scared
would.
of her.
Yes, it would.
But the thing is, it's a layoff, and trainer stats just don't reflect the fact that she's going to run her best race off time away. Looking for her maybe next time out, but how many times have we jump down to the press box after the race and go, oh yeah, stat works again. Somebody's 0 for or 1 for 40, and all of a sudden, here comes the horse you feared, threw off the ticket, coming at you to beat you.
But I think we know it's probably Blue Trillion's race to lose on the front. I think when they turn for home, they come into the 8th hole, they got to go get her.
Okay, race 7. Good video to show you Energy Efficient. I'm glad you picked this video out because I was impressed by his race there, April 14th for Silliman.
I don't know what happened on March 24th. I was down at Ellery watching on the computer. I just thought this horse would fire. Did not. Was very dull. Silliman goes in, claims, and Energy Efficient had that energy. It was, the internal's a little quicker. That was the wind-dated, one of those wind-dated days, but relaxed just outside that other speed. Just right on home. This was a good after the last 1/8 of a mile. Finished strong, going away from this field by 4 and change. Now steps up to this next condition, the state-bred, state-sired, other than with positional speed. I don't know if anybody's as quick as Running River. If Running River wants to go, you're gonna have to, get your running shoes on to try to go ahead and press him. I think the better, chances are just sit back, rate a little bit, and stalk. But Energy Efficient, and I got a little stat for Ricky Silliman as well. I think this horse is going to get a good stalking trip inside. Last 3 years on the dirt, smaller sample, 3 for 4, second off the claim following a win with a $4.30 ROI. Ricky last year, he loved this place. 4 for 9 and 6 for 9 in the money with an ROI of 416.
Yeah, Silliman Barn was super hot here last Pimlico meet. Something to watch. Runs a big race, and not just pushed along by a tailwind and running against a wind. I had it as an extreme west wind. I believe that the wind gusts that day were like 35 miles an hour, or pretty constant. I mean, and as you saw in the video, the horse widened a little bit late, kicked past horses in upper stretch and drew away, and even running against the wind, pours it on with a 78 Beyer number in victory. Repeat of that, I think, would be very tough here. Giordani. Well, Running River at Giordani. Let's talk about the entry for a moment.
Okay.
Is Running River going to go to the front today? I got no clue. Because I tell you, I did not like his last couple of races at all. But I guess they're going to go to the front.
I think that's the best plan for him if he's going to have his best chance of winning. I don't know if he's going to go ahead and prompt a horse like Mosler Time, who's sharp, or even an Energy Efficient. I think he goes out, and anyone's going to have to make that first move. It's going to be Mosler Time, Energy Efficient, into the Running River, and there's Giordani. We know what this horse does.
He's a
he
closer,
lags back.
so
he does
Running
not
River's
have
the rabbit.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say rabbit per se. They still got a chance, but
I
I think it's going to help the chances of Giordani in here.
Okay. All right. So we agree they're energy efficient in the 7th race.
Yep. I like Mosler's time race
Yeah.
last time. I mean, they've kind of beaten each other. Mosler time energy efficient. Would not be a surprise either here for Cal Lynch.
He was inside speed, 24-1, 47 and change. Will he be able to get away with that today?
A little tougher group.
Little different situation maybe. But it's, I don't want to say it's written in stone he can't close or can't rate off the pace because his career is so short right now.
Yeah, and look at his races. I wrote it down. 2 or 3 on a fast track with the blinkers. You know, the lone bad track, stumble, lost rider. That's the only hiccup. So we don't know how good this horse is. Yeah.
All right, let's go to race 8. Closing out the card today. First day here at Pimlico, home of the Preakness 6 furlongs. No changes. What you got?
I've got the 6. I can do it. Gina Perry. We're at Pimlico, right? Here's your stat. Well, we're going to go video first. That's right. Okay. We're going to go video and then stat. So we got to hold on here. We're going back to the 17th of December. The last time going 3/4 of a mile, that was for owner Bob Guerin when he's training. This horse ran very well. We've seen Golden Charm come back. This is the wide little sweeping move to get it done, widening by 4 and change, looking at some other handicapping tools. This was a big race, maybe even a little bit bigger than that 56 buyer shows. Last time out, I think legit excuse. Broke bad, just never really got involved. I'm going to go first time Gina Perry here, and when it's Pimlico, you pay attention. The last 3 years, 5 for 16, 31%, 9 for 16 in the money with an ROI of 765. Speed to the inside. What's your big idea? I'll let you talk about that one, Navani. I'm going to need things to heat up a little bit. Hopefully we can get things to set up for I Can Do It for Perry and Gina.
40,000 claim. What's your big idea? They ran him back. Sloppy track, didn't like that. It was extremely sloppy that day. Doesn't come back in a fast track. Too many kisses. Next out winner again after that victory, won that race in a really good time, going 7/8 of a mile. Then last time out was rushed up along the rail, and the rail was not the place to be that day. March 29th at Laurel. I think he is the closest speed down to the inside, and they're going to send him today. What's your big idea? The only plan I think is to try to dazzle him out there on the lead with a solid break from the gate, and I think he's going to get it.
Yeah,
she's
very
Call
fast.
Them all she.
Even despite the rush and everything, I thought she'd hold a little bit better. But you're right. She's today. I think it's all systems go. She might have to deal with Visby, a horse for Justin Nixon off a long break. Got it done at 4.5 at Charlestown. Maybe that one of those pressure. Navani's interesting. Don't really know what to make of her, but for a barn. That does well with these type of layoffs, Lasix going on. There's some positives for this horse from the inside. Tina. I thought this horse ran good, and I don't think she's necessarily a need to lead type. She was up on it last time, but she has shown the ability. Had a little trouble. Was it 2 or 3 races back, Dave, where she had to kind of wait at the quarter bowl and continued on well. 6'3", 4'7". Got to think the 3. I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be your fave there in the 8.
Tina adding the blinkers off the claim with Torrey Alba from the Frock Barn.
Yes.
All righty, let's get to the best bet value play for today with 25 minutes out to post time.
Value play, yeah. Let's we might be wishing here. Rad Paisley, but dirtied up the last couple races. Not great on the page. The layoff and having to deal with a very fast horse in Aristocratic. Maybe some of the other gamblers will look the other way. We'll get an okay price on Rad Paisley whenever. You can get kind of Kieran McGee in that range, 9-2, 5-6 to 1. You got to reach in, take a shot, especially here at Pimlico.
And our 8 race card, what's the best one we can put our money on the nose?
No, yeah, we landed on the same horse. Upswell with the race off the turf will probably come down off of that, but very, very good internals. They were really fast in that mile and a 16th race at Keeneland over that sloppy sealed surface. First for a barn that's known to win off the claim, but got to get in position. If she's like 3 out of it mid-turn and having to be coaxed along at all, chasing Blue Trillion, I'm going to be a little bit concerned.
All righty. Keith, thanks for all your expert
you.
analysis today. Fast and off at turf. We'll be back in just a minute or two with all of your program changes as we have them at this time. Good luck today at Pimlico, home of the Preakness.
All right, good luck, everybody.